I know that you do not enjoy being away from my place of residence, but as I have explained to you, those who live down the hall from me are currently performing renovations on their home without a permit, and are thusly producing noxious chemicals and other debris that may harm you and the other plants residing in my apartment. This is why you have all been moved here. The greenhouse on my college campus is perfectly equipped to house you for this hopefully short period of time until the landlord, should that man even be permitted such a title, responds to my letters of complaint. Yes, I know that the other students breathe on you too much while you're here, but I am at a loss as to what else I can do to prevent such behaviors. I have already sequestered you and those other plants under my care and posted a notice to refrain from exhaling on your delicate leaves. No, I am not going to spend time getting into the argument that humans consider themselves superior to plant life and treat you as inferiors. I have many items on my task list and cannot be distracted by the same conversation we've had 100. Oh. Have you been standing there long? If you have, I do apologize for neglecting your presence, as I was simply tending to my projects. You see, in a month-long study by the Royal Horticultural Society, it was discovered that reading from either literary or scientific works to your plant, either through recordings played on headphones attached to the subject or in person, greatly increased their chances for health, growth, overall prosperity. Specifically, those plants under the care of feminine voices grew an average of an inch taller than their male counterparts. Sarah Darwin, the great-great-granddaughter of esteemed scientist Charles Darwin, was even able to produce positive outlying effects through such an experiment. Since encountering this study, I have chosen to take this theory further by not only reading texts of intelligent matter to my houseplants, but also by having discussions of literary, psychological, social, and scientific philosophy with them on a daily basis. As I am a female with a charming and feminine voice by nature, one whose gentle lilt delights all with its melodic cadence, I am expecting spectacular results. That was my attempt at some sarcasm. I am aware that my voice is rather plain and dull. Some have even referred to me as robotic. I do still hope to have a positive effect on my little experiments in spite of that, since I can only strive to relay my enthusiasm for them through consistent care. I have only now noticed that you look unsettled. Your clothes seem to hang loosely on your body and your face is flushed. Your eyes look as though they might begin producing water at any moment. Are you feeling sickly? I am quite able to accompany you to the nurse this very instant should you require medical attention. There is no need to delay, even if I am in the middle of my task list. Another task can be added, that is no issue at all. You're not ill. Excellent. And yet, you do not show any signs of being relieved at this potential revelation. That must mean that something else is wrong. I am unsure of how to proceed in this situation where the methods I would normally use in aiding someone unwell are not satisfactory or applicable. Now you are crying. Oh dear. Are you sure you're not in physical pain or discomfort? Your chest aches. Perhaps you've broken your rib and are unaware of it as of yet. We should take you to the nurse just in case. No? Would you mind then recounting for me everything that has happened to you up to this point in time that appears to have contributed to your current condition? I see. You appear to be suffering from strictly emotional distress. All of those things happening to you, they sound as though they've caused you to feel, quote, removed from the pack, so to speak, as humans are predominantly social beasts. I imagine that can cause anyone in such a situation to feel fear, anger, and loneliness at the perception that they are being left to their own resources and abandoned to a difficult fate. Well, I can assure you that you're not being abandoned to a difficult fate, so your sadness is illegitimate. You are most likable. You fit in well socially in comparison to some. So I can only assume that this period of loneliness is transient and you will soon be returned to the social standing you once held, if not elevated, as guilt tends to lead humans to overproduce feelings of sentimentality that in turn cause them to award heightened significance to the return of what was considered lost. There. There is no more need for tears, as sound logic has been presented to you. It is not necessary to thank me. I know you must have a fair amount of phlegm present in your nasal and vocal passages that make it arduous to speak. And yet you don't seem soothed at all. In fact, you look more upset than you did when you arrived. How odd. But I provided you with a clear explanation as to why your troubles would soon be dispersed. Why are you then still crying? Here, sit with me on 2 of these chairs the campus has provided to the students working here in the greenhouse. Maybe physical rest will aid you more than I seem to have. You understand that everything will be fine, as they say, correct? Logically, everything in your life will return to a level of satisfaction that you appreciate. So why are you still expressing concern? But you're still phlegmy. I shouldn't be asking you to talk too much. Here, you may use my sleeve to wipe your mucus secretions on should it not prove too dusted with soil as to be off-putting. I wish I was able to provide a proper handkerchief, but mine seems to have gone missing. Do not be concerned for the state of my lab coat, as it is designed to take the brunt of various fluids by nature. Oh, sure. You can rest your head on my shoulder. This is fine. There. What does the nurse say to children? There. You'll be all right. Cry it out. Whatever it is. Sometimes Philip's leaves curl in on themselves when I would take him away from the window, where the other plants are situated within my home. Foolish behavior, as it would only be for short periods of time and strictly to maintain his health. But sometimes, reading or speaking to him in this time of silly leaf curling would seemingly help him to relax. I wonder. I have often been told that I am not good at relating to others, since I am hindered by only understanding my own personal experiences. I say this to preface my following thoughts only so you understand that I am not trying to steal, in a sense, the spotlight of your distress. I have never known friendship like you have. Never known how it feels to be a welcome part of a group. But from a distance it looks warm. At times I can feel a tightness in my chest when I allow myself extra time spent watching how you and the others behave and have fun together. A tightness not unlike a slightly broken rib, I suppose. So, I can therefore extrapolate that, like a specimen that grows up within a warm and sunlit environment, the removal of said subject to a place that is more isolated and inactive, cold, one might even say, would be physically traumatic in ways that linger beyond logic. Being unwillingly alone, with no one else who relates to you, can be painful. While I take no responsibility for your present situation, I am sorry that you find yourself in this pain. You are categorically a wonderful person. Thoughtful, kind, funny, always performing romantic or selfless acts even when they are not required of you. And you are intelligent. I find conversing with you on nearly any topic to be very pleasing. While I may not possess the same personality as many of your companions, I cannot imagine that they do not value these same traits in you, and will soon come to you to reconcile. I am certain that there are many who care deeply for you, and that this unfortunate period of sadness is simply a bump in the road. I have not been much of a source of comfort to you in all of this time that I have been privileged enough to be your girlfriend, have I? True, we have highly energizing scientific and philosophical discussions, but in emotional matters I fall short. Then starting today, I will endeavor to adjust that. Please remain on my shoulder as long as you need to feel soothed. Be sure to allow adequate time for our physical contact to produce oxytocin and stimulate the release of other feel-good hormones within your body, such as dopamine and serotonin, while reducing stress hormones, such as cortisol and norepinephrine, that are no doubt culprits in your present condition. What else might help you? Oh, yes, I know. I came upon a new personal hypothesis last week or so. Moments like this, where, for your sake, I am asked to confront uncomfortable and often frightening sides of the human condition and myself, have been cropping up more and more. And yet I feel driven to face them when in the past I would simply ignore their existence, as they offered no valuable data to put towards my experiments. I have thought now, maybe growing and changing as a person, learning to feel more openly, can be of value, if it offers him a higher level of satisfaction within our relationship. Being with you has offered me a drive to face that which frightens me about being alive and being a person. Thus, my personal hypothesis is that I must be in love with you. I put your simple well-being above my own, and bringing you comfort and joy have become my prime directive. The conclusion is clear. I love you. So, don't you see the point of my confession? Even in this time when you are feeling alone and abandoned, you need not be concerned. Due to bond pairing chemicals and traditional mating behaviors, you can be assured that my love and attachment to you is so deep psychologically that if all others should wish to sever their acquaintance with you, I will not. Even if we're just a pack of two, you will never be without a pack. I know that may not release the pain of emotion that you are feeling presently, but I hope that in time it is useful to you. You are greatly valued, even if it's just by me. Please, Don't feel as though you have to remove your head from my shoulder. I am used to sitting still for long periods of time in semi-uncomfortable fashions, so if this position is cathartic in any capacity, then do remain here. Pat, pat. There, there. You will be all right. Cry should you need. Alleviate your pain here with me. I am both physically and emotionally present to you at this time. Everything will turn out fine. I can promise that within reasonable doubt. There is so much evidence that you are loved, and statistically this pain will pass given time. My shoulder is here until such time, and so am I.